This is what I look like every morning. The GF leans over and she looks like, Jesus Christ, what a hideous beast. I mean, I'm not terribly good looking to begin with, but this is me 15 minutes up because you'd be happy that I'm doing this for you. I got up this early, 9:30, crack of a fart in the morning, because this is when you could fit it in. Hang on. I got to turn this off. There we go.
Well, I will not dampen your enthusiasm by telling you I got up at 7 and I've already been downtown and had breakfast. And
really? You've made it downtown already? Wow.
Yeah. Is the backdrop here okay? With
backdrop is light as hell. You look like a silhouette. We don't even know if you're Chad Elkins. We can only identify you by your voice right now.
That's okay. No
one. Do you have shades or no? I mean,
this is the shade.
That is the shade.
All I got. Yeah.
So basically, when you have your malls come in, Detective CPA Chad Elkins, Esquire, the girly girls come in there and, oh, Chad, I have a problem. I can't balance my books. You think you can balance my books for me? And then people can see you because well, you even have that shade. It's not keeping anything out.
Well, it's just to add to the aura of mystery of the 50s motif that I'm trying to add. And it increases the tingles, and
what can you move in your head a little bit? Like maybe we can eclipse the sun a little. Can you move to your right? 4 degrees.
Oh, like that.
No, that's your left.
No. I'm saying I can move the
computer. That. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, way
How's
better.
that?
There,
that's Is that better?
Okay, yeah.
All right, cool.
Not that anyone tunes in to looks at our sexy asses.
Well, the issue, my office desk is smaller than my one at home, so this is okay?
It's fine. It's fine. It's good enough for the girls we date.
Speak for yourself. I'm kidding.
I'll let the GF know you said that.
I meant that in a good way. I was saying you date the high quality. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Dude, you have to admit, well, except for schmoopsy muffins, we do date the high quality ones. I'll tell you that. And I would take whatever, but I committed. Like if I had a girlfriend, they were usually higher quality gals, and definitely were higher quality gals. Except for one. One was every guy's gonna have the bipolar psycho quanta haha.
Well, you avoided a long-term one of those, right?
Not really. It was like my first real girlfriend. No, I take it back. It was my second real girlfriend. And she was, and again, I don't care if they're faking it or actually have it. If you act like a quanta ha, you're a quanta haha. And I stuck with that for 1.25 years. But at no time was I thinking about getting married or committing to this girl long term. I mean, she was hot. I was having sex. And even if you're not that committed, they still make your life a living hell. And then after a while, I'm like, yeah, you know what? There's the curb. Stand, bend over. And I kicked her to it. And I was like somebody else I know. I was the first guy to dump her ass. And then last I heard, she magically got rid of the bipolar disorder and also became a supportive wife. And now she's like a mom with, I don't know, 2 or 3 kids or something, married. And, it's kind of like, so you were faking it the entire time. But yeah, it was, and you got to look out for those gals that have never been dumped or divorced. And all of a sudden your tires get slashed because nobody leaves baby in a corner.
Well, oh, sorry. I'm just looking at the chat already? Yeah. No, I know you hate it when I jump into the super
No, I
chat,
don't hate it. Oh, I hate getting money. It's just, can we warm up, guys? Like, I was really thinking about like just getting another coffee right now. And we let me heat up a coffee. Can I heat up a coffee?
I give you permission to do
Thank you for giving me permission. All right. Yeah. And then $1 billion worth of super chats. But hang on, let me heat up. It's going to take a minute. Sing Impanema.
Tall and tan. No, I'm not going to do that this early in the morning.
Each time she walks and passes goes.
Man, I wish I was at home. It kind of sucks to do this in my office. It's a little bit more cramped. And
that sways so smooth and then so gentle.
I have to.
Oh.
Holy crap, that's terrible. All right. Anyway, I have a client coming in 2 hours, so that's why I have to do this from my office, and I'd much rather be at home.
How can I tell
this
her
is-
I love her?
Wow, very sad
Yes, I
singer.
would give my heart gladly
That's a terrible, terrible
for
way
the
to sing
sake
it.
of her and me, walking happily down by the sea.
Oh my goodness.
Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes
You guys
walking.
have to admit, I'm not that
Every
bad.
time she keeps walking past us goes, ah.
Admit it, I'm better than that.
Oh,
Just had $1 million idea.
It wasn't about singing, I hope.
It is about singing, but it does not involve you and me singing because we have no singing ability. I'm wondering if Mary Jo has a great voice.
She has great other attributes. But
Well,
I don't
I mean, you combine these attributes, you form Voltron. But if she could, I'm just thinking her holding my book, singing "The Girl from Ipanema" in a bikini and heels, and that's just the idea that came. If she could sing, she doesn't have to be that good at singing. If she just sang it while holding my book to advertise it, I think that would send advertisement through this. Sales through the roof. God damn, too damn early for this. All right,
I was just telling the chat, I really hate doing this for my office. It's just too cramped.
What's wrong? It's too cramped?
Well, I'm concerned. Like, there's a guy behind the wall here, and chances are he's gonna pop over and be like, "Hey, you're being kind of loud."
Really?
So
Oh, that's too
it
bad.
happens sometimes. Yeah.
Well, let's get. You know what you can do is you can always put up soundproofing, and in the form of used towels. That's what my recording studio back at the old Northern Command in the WBL was. Is all I did was buy up a bunch of used towels. I watched a YouTube video on it, and the soundproofing was better than the professional foamy stuff you buy. So if you just go and get like some towels, you put them in a frame of some kind, you hang them up, that'll dampen the sound way more than you think possible.
Well, I may have to, because confidential things get discussed in this office, and occasionally private acts, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I think you need to before we get to the super chats. I think you need to doll up your office to look like a 1940s Sam Spade office. I think you need like an old lampshade. You need, Chad Elkins CPA on the frosted window, painted. I think a poster of Casablanca would be pretty cool. No, I'm just thinking if you 40s it up a bit, I think there's something you may, and then you'll remember finally. Hey, remember how I did my office? It was all 1940s like, and put up what was it? Sin City, posters of Sin City, get that kind of film noir motif going on.
I'm sure my millennial clients, which are the majority, would really appreciate that.
They wouldn't even wait. Have you seen Sin City?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. It's a great movie.
Yeah, but you and I are from a different era.
We are. That's why we make more money, or we are in better financial shape. So, all right. Well, let's get the early super chats because I have stuff to talk about. I want to talk about my nieces and uncling. But let's get.
I'm into uncling now.
You're pro uncling, man. Yeah, you and me both, man. It's great being an uncle.
All right. Well, first, a couple of quick things. Apparently, it's Nick Schulander's birthday, so he said that your singing ruined his birthday. So I hope you're happy.
What's great is he can go to my Amazon.com affiliate and search "bag of dicks," and he can order himself a bag of dicks, and he can go eat them on his birthday. That's what Nick can do.
Be sure and click on the affiliate link.
Yeah, be sure I get that commission on the bag of dicks you're about to eat, Nick.
And then lastly, Ahmed Khan says, Chad Elkins, I only super chat when you're on due to your Chad status. So I couldn't let that go unsaid.
Got Ahmed. Ahmed's a good guy. I guess he hates me and only likes you. That's fine.
No, he loves you so much. He's trying to get on the stream constantly.
That's right. I know. We got to have him on. Was he in Seattle too? Are we going to have him on the Seattle show, or is that just the Ahmed show?
I'm sure he'll answer in the chat here. But our good buddy, who's one of our good buddies who's going to start
I'm going to do this like Sherlock Holmesian. I'm going to deduce. It's too early on the West Coast to have it be bacon. I'm surprised Nick is up at this time. I'm going to say it's our good buddy Atham, who's never sleeps at all.
El Chaparrito Grande says, "What the fuck is wrong with those blinds?" Oh, for $5.
For
What
$5.
the fuck is wrong with those blinds? What's this? An interrogation room? LOL. Good morning, dudes. Well,
How does he have so much damn energy?
amphetamines or coffee, one or
Could
the
be,
other is my
yeah.
guess.
Have you seen when he sends over his Fitbit sleeping schedule?
I have. It's like the most you've gotten this week is 6 hours. That's like a
God
bad
almighty.
night.
Yeah, that's bad. I remember those are the college. Oh, everybody's got to go through it. Everyone's going to go through that. So I have the
And then Ahmed for $1.99 says,
good.
American Dad minus parents minus swingers minus girl equals weird. Is that because you had that strange video yesterday?
Dude, I like I said, it's the 50-50 rule. 50%. There's no average people. There's no normal people in my clientele or my world. It's either super elite people or seriously fucked up. And well, not maybe seriously fucked up, but untethered, not normal. Just like what the hell? Yeah, I got a weird request, and the request would have made sense if the videos he sent me made sense. But he sent me a video to an American Dad, excerpt, and it was a gimmick, a joke played on swingers and how if your parents go with a swinger group, they're going to get divorced. And it's 100%. I'm like, how is, and then he asked, like, I've seen this behavior with women before in my past. I'm like, how have you seen women? Well, one, they'd have to be married and they'd have to, I mean, how many times are you running into swinger group?
Sorry.
Is that diversity calling? I wonder if it's a fire truck or that sounds more like fire.
So it's a fire truck, and I'm gonna have to be muting and unmuting because you know where my office is. There's all kinds of that shit throughout.
Is there a fire department across the street?
It's a couple blocks over, yeah.
All right,
but I'll do the old Clary trick. When there's a sound coming, I'll mute it and then unmute myself.
Sounds good. All right. So yeah, I don't know what that I tried my best, but I mean I have very little patience. And there's a new Clary coming out, a new and improved Clary, and I'm exercising and practicing this for a week where I don't get angry or try not to get worked up or angry about things. And that was one where I'm just kind of like, yeah, I should be very angry, kind of like you when I send you the pictures of the block text.
Oh yeah,
that's a huge advantage for young men and women to get to where you don't get angry because it taxes your life expectancy on a microscopic level, maybe not so microscopic, but getting angry, getting cortisol up, getting stressed. I have high blood pressure now, and I have lowered it a fair amount with just where it's like, I'm not going to let the world and the stupid people piss me off. And so it was one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm going to charge him more for my time and confusion, but I'm not going to let it get me here. Not like emotionally, but like that stress. You ever get that stress and it's just like you can almost biophysiologically feel it in your heart or your gut?
Usually the first quarter of the year, yeah. I get that stress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you can actually feel it physically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not doing that. My goal is to get past that.
I think it's a good goal. I just worry it'll take away from your charm when it comes to.
Yeah, people tune in for the rage every once in a while, but and then that won't go away. I mean, I like I've said, I'm thinking about putting together a Black Ops channel on Twitter or DLive or something like that. Or not Twitter, Twitch or BitChute. I don't know which one is better. I have no idea, but where I could actually, that would be my what's the
rant.
Greek rant? But what do they call it? There's a Greek word for it, a philosophical one, like your not your epiphysis, your
catharsis.
Catharsis, yes. There'd be like a catharsis channel where I can just rant and rage, get it out of my system. But the rest of the day, like traffic. Yesterday I went golfing. You know how long it took to do 18 holes?
All right. I'm guessing it went slow because you had a rough day.
No, I didn't. That's the whole point. I decided to commit to do 18 holes, and it was a beautiful day. And it's been hot and muggy, just like it's been over in Chicago. So everyone came out to golf, and it took 5 hours to do 18 holes, which is a very long time.
Yeah, you had to wait for those old guys to.
For the old, right. And I did not let it bother me. I just said, no,
Wow.
I'm going to commit. And then you know what I did after I was done golfing?
Went home and spent time with the GF.
No, I didn't rush home because, oh my God, I got to get, nope. I sat there because I wanted to, looking over the driving greens, and I had myself a chicken veggie wrap. And I just looked, and I sat and I did nothing. And I just enjoyed it instead of rushing home. And so this new Clary, basically, I want to avoid a heart attack early, and either I adapt now and enjoy life. That's the other component to this patience things. Like you, me, many, especially, I think pretty much everyone in the listening audience here, because we were lied so much to in the past, we've been, not that I'm a big believer in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but it does play a role. If you're in the bottom two parts of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's constant struggle to merely survive. Forget excel. You're just trying to survive. And what skills, tactics, abilities, strengths you learn in that environment do not apply in the upper stages of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Because now I'm at self-actualization, if anyone pays attention, where it's like, okay, everything's taken care of. I have no debts. Everything's kind of, everything's stable now. And now we could go off to loftier, more philosophical things. But especially if you've been down there, like I'd love to talk to Ed Lattimore about this because he came in from truly destitute poverty. How do you turn that off? How do you go from work harder, faster, stronger, struggle, survive. If there's something that has to be done, do it. Don't postpone, never procrastinate. Then all of a sudden you get into orbit, and now you just got your inertia to make you go orbit around the earth. Now you got to back off on the throttle, which if you don't know how to do that, how do you turn that off? How do you turn off your rage? How do you turn off your hard work? How do you turn off this? It's ingrained in you after 40 years to work, go. And you just don't turn it off. But if you don't, because now you're in a different environment, you're in the higher echelons of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And what helped you get out of poverty, what helped you get out of those lower stages is actually going to hurt you in the long run in terms of heart health, mental health, cardiology, stroke, all that. So you have, and if you don't turn it off, you will never enjoy that later half of life. Like if I don't turn this off, I will be forever angry, forever pissed off. And I don't want to live the last third of my life like I did the first 2/3. So I want to chill out, relax. So it is key, because there's so many damn slow, stupid people, to just say, I'm going to do this. And no matter how long it takes me to get there, I'm going to enjoy it and not worry about slower people, other people, what quote needs to be done or should be done, or I could be working. And that's what I'm focusing on now. Is I'm just like, went golfing 5 hours yesterday, did a little bit of asshole consulting. And then I took the GF out to, what was it? We went to a town called Rosemont down south.
We got one of those. We got one of those up here.
Yeah. I mean, it was like this Irish Days or something like that. We went there and the GF had some cocktails, and I didn't care that. And it is a straw. I bet you if anyone's listening right now, especially if it's an older guy, I'd love to hear some wisdom, because this is the frontier, one of the few things on the frontier I'm trying to figure out. But that's where the new Clary is going to come in. And I don't think it's going to take, I'll always have that edge, and it's really hard to fight it and keep that beast down. But that beast is going to, I'll probably, to experiment with DLive or BitChute or whatever, I'll probably have a Black Ops channel of some kind where I can truly rage. But no, I'm not going to become a teddy bear or Cuddle Wookums here today.
I don't want to be cynical or discouraging, but I think you might backslide occasionally with this. So it'll take.
Oh, don't worry, I'll relapse. Yeah, no, there's I'm not going to be Mr. Zen or Buddhist monk here. I'm not going to be fucking Gandhi, because there's always going to be somebody that sends me an email of black text, and I'm going to snap. You fucking, or how do I get the girls?
Dude, you're gonna have to stay. My advice then, if you really want this to work, you have to stay off of Twitter. That's first.
Twitter, I don't pay attention to news anymore, and Twitter, I'm really just kind of using that as I'm bored standing in line or at the gym in between working out on sets. But I'm not, and I focus more on like Vince's, Instagram and the funny memes. because I can't stand listening to the latest thing Ilhan Omar said or the latest thing Ocasio. But the only thing I'm happy about with that is that Trump actually called them socialists, which I've been clamoring for 20 years for the Republicans to start calling Democrats the parasitic socialists that they are. Use the actual. Now it's too late because the word socialist is now ingratiated back into it's not a pejorative anymore. Now we need to use the word parasite, but Republicans have no balls, so that's not going to happen. But aside from that, no, I'm not really paying much attention to the politics on the Twitter.
Well, if you don't like it here, you can always go back to where you came from.
Oh my God, that's so racist. It's not. What do we got for any more super chats? Are we good?
A couple of quick ones.
All
For $1.99, birthday boy Nick says, jumping on the super chat bandwagon. How are things, gents? Well, it sounds like things are good for Aaron, and I can't complain. I wish I was sleeping right now, but still.
Yeah, you don't look anywhere near disheveled. What were you up at 6 and you went downtown and you got back by 9:30?
Yeah, like it was 8 o'clock breakfast, and it only took like 45 minutes, and we're about an hour, then hopped up on the train and made it back. This is why I was telling you this is the perfect time, because I don't have anybody coming until 11:30.
Yeah, no, and I plan on being done by that time. And I'm gonna play Call of Duty World War II online.
Cool.
That's what I've been doing to chill out and relax. And I have a little bit of asshole consulting to do, but I'm gonna maybe do that later on this afternoon. What were you was it a breakfast conference fun thing, or was it an actual client?
It was a client, and I'd been meaning to catch up with him for a while.
Mhm.
And, he works all the time. So breakfast was really the only way we could do it. And I'm like, sure. I've actually found, let me ask you this. When you're really having, this goes along with what you were talking about earlier. Do you force yourself to get up early when you don't have to in order to kind of normalize things, or do you just sleep as late as you want? Like, what's your preference on that?
I prefer to sleep as late as I want. The problem is, again, this goes back to what I was saying. After 40 odd years, especially 20 from my late teens to 30s, it was you had to get up. And so my brain is, we're up. What has to be done? What do we do to tread water today? And so I immediately go and work kind of like I am now. Now, I did wake up at 9:15, which is actually pretty late for me because the GF wakes up early, and usually I get up when she gets up. But yeah, it's I don't really even control it anymore. And you could do that thing where it's like, oh, I'll go back to sleep. No, you won't. You can do that when you're younger, like especially if you're physically exhausting yourself and doing some kind of physical labor. But once you hit your 30s and certainly your 40s, once you're up, don't fight it. Just get up. Just get up and get on with your day. Because you're gonna lie there for 45 minutes trying to sleep. You're not really getting any good sleep. Get up, get your coffee. You might be a little bit tired. As long as you got like 7 or 8 hours sleep, you're fine and you're good to go. But
well, I was sleeping late last week. I was still getting acclimated back from the West Coast, and I just noticed I would get up, 10 or 11, and I felt like shit. Like I didn't feel good for sleeping in. I felt like lazy, and it just, I guess, kind of like you, I need to let some of this stuff go and just be comfortable relaxing.
Well, how late did you stay up working? See, if you sleep, okay, you wake up at 11, but this would happen to me back in the day. I would sleep until 1 p.m. And if I wasn't taking melatonin or sleeping pills, I'd be up till 4 a.m. working. So if you're up working, you're still getting your work done.
I'm up wasting time, like watching Netflix, watching YouTube videos, So it's that, it's better to have a set schedule, I think. At least you've got the GF to kind of not force, but encourage you to go to bed and encourage you to wake up.
Yeah, no, there's that anchoring there. There's certainly that. But yeah, if you're doing, I've never felt guilty about the work I do. Like I get it done, so as long as you're getting your work done. But you face a different problem in that your work is very seasonal and cyclical.
Yeah, and so you work so hard certain times in order to get to the time now. But then when you get to the time now, you're still conditioned to like want to work hard. So it messes with your head. You need to really allow yourself to relax. It's hard. It's
very hard. No, especially if you have a moral compass about you. If you're some lazy welfare bum and you could collect a government check and be a parasite like AOC or the fucking Somali chick.
Yeah.
And watch your Maury Povich or whatever's on during the daytime. You can do that. And I've never understood how people can do that, because you do get that sick feeling. Like, remember when you'd fake being sick so you could stay at home because school fucking sucks?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, once the cartoons end and you're still in your pajamas and it's noon, you're like, I gotta keep faking like I'm sick. And you just got that disgust, like I should really go out and do something.
Yeah.
It's like that. And because you're so conditioned, it really is mind over matter. Like yesterday was a perfect example. And what you're gonna have to do, and other people, whether it's cyclical or you're self-employed, if you put the time in, you get your work done, that frees up mathematically time on the back end for you to enjoy your day and your time off. And what you got to do is remember, oh, I worked so I could play today, and you are free. You have a right to enjoy your freedom that you earned before. So I wrote an article, the one, The Piggott Effect. I don't know if you read that. It's on Captain Capitalism. Everybody go read it because
I've actually got it up right now
Yeah.
on my screen. I'd meant to read it before we did this, but I didn't get a chance.
It's a good, it's just, I point out how busting each other's balls as men leads to self-improvement. Whereas women constantly lying to one another to like, oh my God, you're amazing. Everybody's amazing. Chad, did you know that in women's world, everyone is just amazing? There are no average or below average people. Everybody is just amazing.
Well, yeah, to their face.
Well, right. I know, like that's the joke. But I'm just saying,
yeah.
without men will go and bust one another's balls. Like the minorest of infractions is it's not that you're even trying to help the guy with self-improvement. It's like, I can get Chad now. I can get Marcus, that kind of thing. But the unintentional side benefit, fringe benefit, is that leads to self-improvement. Whereas women, where it's a constant lie fest, at least to your face, there's no self-improvement because, well, I'm amazing. I'm wonderful because I'm me. Women are perfect. And I'm like, over the long haul, which leads to better. Anyway, so that's the article. You guys can read it. And I slam on Adam Piggott because he drives like a woman, an old woman in the left lane.
At least he drives.
He's horrible, dude. He's horrible. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's real bad. He's real bad.
Don't they drive on the left-hand side of the road where he's originally from?
Australia?
I think they do. Former British. Well, maybe they don't, actually.
We're former British.
Yeah.
What are the Indians? The Indians drive? What is the Indian was a former? Did we all say fuck off to the Brits? We're driving on the right side. Was that our way to give the finger to the British Empire?
Well, I just know, like, when I was in East Africa, those are all former British colonies.
Sure.
I learned to drive on the left-hand side of the road.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it's the same there.
I was in not Jamaica, Bahamas, and I drove on the left side, and the driving column was on the right side.
Ha!
It was different, man. It was real different, and we're like going through roundabouts. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to kill some little kid running around with a stick.
That's how I learned how to drive at 16.
Yeah, that's. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh. So I wrote that article on Sunday, predominantly. I finished it off early Monday. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going golfing. And here's a very key thing, especially for all you boys and girls. If you're coming out you're going to work your ass hard. You're going to work, and you're going to get into this conditioning where you can never let yourself if you don't let yourself have fun, you're never going to enjoy life. And key to having fun is, Chad, let's say you bust your ass off during busy season. And then you are going to go on a cruise to celebrate the end of busy season. What is the number one key thing? You get the cruise, you've earned it. What's the number one thing key to making sure you enjoy the cruise?
So I can tell you, for me personally, it's not checking any emails or even my phone.
Right.
Like that. And I have the hardest time doing that. So that's my answer. Do you have a different answer?
Well, yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're 100% right. Like, you cut yourself out from the real world. The other thing is allow yourself to enjoy it.
That's hard.
That is so fucking hard. Where it's like, I should be doing X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, fucker. You did X, Y, and Z beforehand. Now that allowed you this time, like, I had every right yesterday. Shit, I got the right never to fucking work another day in my life again, as far as I'm concerned. Given the amount of work and sacrifice I put in the back, I could be pensioned off forever and have every right. You can't do it. So it is a Herculean and it is a mandatory task. I'm kind of curious if Prager, Dennis Prager?
Yeah.
He wrote a book how like happiness is a requirement, or he wrote a book on happiness, or it's like a moral responsibility. It is hard, especially if you've worked horrifically lots of hours in the past. Like Atham. Do you think Atham will ever be able to turn off and chill out?
It doesn't seem like it.
Right. And so when the day comes, because everybody, you're putting in your time and effort now, you're squirreling away your nuts. There will come a time where you want to relax and chill out and enjoy life. But if you can't psychologically enjoy the moment because you're worried about work, then the rest of your life is fucking pointless because you're a slave to your slavery. You're a slave to your work.
Honestly, man, this is my biggest struggle in life. Forget money, forget women, forget family, forget
Yeah.
it all. What you're talking about, I still haven't learned how to do that.
I'd be curious because your ma's a shrink. I'd love to hear your mom's opinion about this, if she's ever studied it or ran into it.
I've asked her about this, and you know what her reply was? She
Just
goes,
you're fishing in the wrong hole.
no, it was funny. She
Oh,
goes,
hang on. Let me guess what other things baby boomer moms say to their children that doesn't
oh,
help.
no. Think
Oh.
think it closer to home. Think about my dad.
She has, like, he's her biggest client. Like, she has to work on him to have him calm down and turn off, right?
Her response to me was, without a doubt, you are your father's child.
Wow.
Which I thought was funny.
Well, did your dad come from poverty? Did he? Because your
Yes.
dad some straight aces. Okay, yeah, and
Yeah.
my grandpa was like that. My great grandpa was an alcoholic. Well, all Clarys are alcoholics, but I guess Red Clary, as my great grandpa, he was raging. And my grandpa, after his dad died, had to go through town and settle all of his outstanding bar tabs.
Wow.
And so my grandpa was brought up poor, went to World War II, and engineer, stoic as fuck. I mean, good man, stoic as fuck. Serious shit. Not that he couldn't have fun, but it was business. I mean, it was business, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that, and we're gonna get this done, we're gonna get that done. But that's kind of that's what concerns me. I'm like, did my grandpa ever have fun? Did he loosen the fuck up and go? And then I find out through my grandma, who's still alive today, thank God. Yeah, he did. He'd have the occasional drink. He sang in the choir. He golfed. But I remember being a child, and he would. It's like, boy, this guy ain't going to go play ball with us. He's not going to play pitch. But Mr. Elkins, yeah, you could see it. He's straight laced, but has he had fun and relaxed and had a good time?
I hope so. I mean, they travel a lot now, and he's quit doing the whole tax thing. So I really hope so. But I can tell you, man, ever since becoming an entrepreneur, I have the hardest time just flipping the switch off. I can't do it.
Well, and there's also a lot to be said that, okay, fine, we're entrepreneurs, and yeah, we're maybe workaholics, but that's even with our workaholism, even with our, you can't turn it off when you go out and golf. Even if you're having fun, you're not having fun because in the back of your mind, you're worrying about what you got to do when you get back to the office. That
Right.
still beats any day these sheeple slaves lining up to commute and working their 9 to 5 to get out of it, because they don't even get to that epiphany stage. They don't even get above. They never resurface. They never surface for air. They never see. They're always submerged. They're always trying to get out of debt. They don't even have time to think about these ethereal things.
And guess what happened this morning? I get stuck because I take the train, right?
Right.
I get stuck in rush hour commuting, and there's nothing worse than that. Nothing worse than that shit.
Right. And you're on the train. You're on the L, man.
Yeah, it's not even traffic. It's just, wall to wall people. Some of them smell bad, bums in the back there.
Sure.
It's just
Urine. Right. That's, oh God. Yeah. So that's kind of to answer Nick's question. That's where we are right now. And mark my word, guys, you get to this success level, where all of a sudden everything's kind of on automatic and it's going to be hard to enjoy. And like I said, with Prager's book, which I presume is one of the conclusions he has, is you have to force yourself to enjoy it. And that's what I realized, because I'm tired of being angry, and there's nothing to be angry about. It's constant looking over your shoulder. What's next? What the fuck is, like, there's no enjoyment. And you got to look at it and say, yeah, people look at us and they think, holy shit, they're living the dream, and we are, but we can't enjoy the dream because of what it took to get here.
Well, I can at least tell you this, and I think you already know this because of what your hobbies are. Mm-hmm. One of the few things I've found that really helps, because I was on the West Coast, I was in Canada a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Being outside a lot is super helpful, just throughout the day. Yeah. So I try to do that.
that's why I'm super happy out west. And I mean, it's just I lose weight because I hike all the time and I listen to podcasts. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. That's the playground. But man, this fucking Minnesota bullshit is getting tiring because it's flat here. There's no. And I got to go to Wisconsin. I got to go to the Wisconsin River, the St. Croix, Mississippi rivers in that area to get some decent hiking. And even then, the trails aren't all that great. But yeah, you get out west and you get to mountains, real mountains. You know, like where there's views, not just trees and swamp and flat farmlands. Yeah, that does go a long way. But what do you? I mean, can you even? Chicago, I always like the architecture, but I'd imagine your neck of the woods must. Here. Well, I know there's no hiking, but you go run. I mean, you got the Lake Michigan running trails out there, but I mean, are you kind of you've been there for what, 10 years? I mean, are you getting tired of your neighborhood and seeing the same shit every day?
Well, I've been here 8 years, but I've moved around a bit in the city. One of the things I'm trying to do is like go to the lake just with a book or some music or a podcast. Don't turn on the phone or leave it at home.
Mm-hmm.
That can be helpful, but then you suffer withdrawal. You're like, oh my God, what if someone's calling me?
Yeah. No, I've uninstalled like Twitter and Facebook for a while. Well, you know that I'll take a break from Facebook. I'll put Facebook in Facebook jail. I'm like, sorry, Zuck, you're covered. We're breaking up.
I gotta join that fraternity of ending up in Facebook jail sometime.
Well, don't do it. It's so stupid. It's so childish. You know, it's a lot like being in grade school, and you know, instead of Mrs. Johnson or Mrs. Jones or Mrs. Nelson, you got Mrs. Facebook, Mrs. YouTube, and Mrs. Google, and Mrs. Twitter. And like, you said something, and you get detention. You don't get your reset. These fucking school marms. It's like, oh, lady, fuck off. So you play hooky. That's basically when you uninstall Facebook or Twitter or social media, you're playing hooky from the prison known as social media. And more parallels, I guess we could say, is people who like it or thrive on it are like the goody two-shoes girls. Remember the teacher's pets? They'd always get straight A's. And I like school. I like school. It's like, yeah, you're fucked in the head, lady. You're just fucked in the head. Who likes school? Weird people. That's who likes school. But, all right. Any super chats or?
Couple quick ones here.
Right.
Atham for $2 says, you need to be more like me, Clary. Be fucking happy.
For a younger guy, Atham really does have this calm about him, and he's always smiling. He's always smiling. And we were driving one time in Vegas. He came to visit down, unlike you. And
I'll talk to you later about this. I have an idea.
Oh, you got an idea?
Yeah.
Oh, is it going to stay on the chalkboard and the idea board for the entire time, or maybe we're going to execute it in the real world?
It'll be Scott Adams style. We'll do a whole presentation, and then nothing will happen.
And nothing will happen. Good.
Yeah.
Good thing you got an MBA to lead yourself through this project. Otherwise, it would have no chance.
Thank
whatsoever.
Goodness, I barely learned how to use PowerPoint.
Jesus Christ. That's so we're driving around, and this dumbass is going slow, and I zip past him and like kind of cut him off a little bit close. And Atham's just like, Clary, you were very angry. There's no reason, we have nowhere to be, and you could just take it easy. And he was right. He's 100% right. And I just gotta fucking, I don't know. He didn't exactly come from wealth. Carlos Slim wasn't his dad. So but he's maybe more wise. Maybe working all those night shifts, you get to sit and philosophize and figure out the problems that way.
Well, he's got some good stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
All right. So Ahmed for $4.99. Wow, this is an actual question. Is bio NV chemistry / business art worth it, as unlike accounting, computer science, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, there aren't any transferable skills learned, such as Java, CAD, etc. It's kind of a choppy question.
I guess what he's going for is like bio. I don't like bio anything. There was one guy who said a biotechnician, which basically fixes medical equipment. I'm like, okay, well, that's electronics and programming. But Ahmed is right. Yeah, you want to have something that can transfer. The problem with bio is you basically are a teacher or you're a researcher, or any one of the pure sciences. Like, I'm going to major in chemistry. Well, that doesn't get you a job. You need to major in chemical engineering. That will get you a job. And these are kind of the slippery slopes of the college degree world, where it is STEM. It is very hard. Chemistry is a very hard degree. Finance, I would argue, was a very hard degree with all the math. If you intended to do the math, no, I'm going to do the business. Remember those business calculators, those finance calculators? You hit a button and it does. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, it's obviously not one of the big ones, but this is the kind of one that they made us get for MBA school, where you can program a lot of this stuff.
So you have your degree in finance too? What did that cost you?
The TI? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I found it on eBay or something.
Everybody can. You know what? I should sell finance degrees online too. Here's your finance degree, a financial calculator. There you go, $80. There, you got your degree in finance.
That's what people are doing.
That's what people. Yeah, no, that's what they did. Like Excel has all the formulas. I'm like, yeah, don't you understand the math? You know.
God, that was so worthless. Every finance course I took was so fucking worthless. But anyway,
brilliant math, but completely theoretical. And then when the government decides to just print off money and borrow and get out of debt, I mean, that's how the solution. Then everything is thrown out the window, because now the government is intervening in a pure financial market or pure market. And now pricing theory and financial pricing goes all out the window. It's like, well, how much money did the government print off this time? It increased the money supply by 10%. I guess asset prices are going to increase by 10%. Oh my God, they did. Jesus, I'm a fucking financial genius.
You know what I just remember about the financial courses I took? It was like every single one was just some semester-long variant of the net present value formula.
Right. Yeah. If I have
over
to do
and over again.
Discounted cash flow, hey, whoever came up with that, yes, you're financially, mathematically right. Now suck a bag of dicks, all right? You go to the bag of dicks store with Nick, and you also get your bag of dicks. Yeah, that was discounted. I remember doing that for so many stocks, calculating it, and it never worked. It never did. And the simplest way was to do market inference pricing. You take the PE ratio of the industry, you apply it to the company. Boom, there you go. Apply it to cash flow, book value, and earnings. And then average the three. That was the best thing I ever came up with. And that's math you could do in the 4th grade. You don't need no fucking finance. Fuck you off.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah. For $1.99, Murray Salcedo says, tell a joke. Carlson School of Management. That's my joke.
Oh, that's a good one, Chad. That's did I ever tell you my Guns of Navarone joke? Have I ever done that one?
I don't think so.
Have you ever seen the Guns of Navarone?
I watched it with my dad, but it was a long time ago, so I don't really remember.
All right. Here's a memory. Now you have. See, get it? The Guns.
Oh yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Okay, there's the joke.
I don't know if our audience will get that one, but
because go watch the Guns of Navarone. Great movie. One of the top 10, I'd say. That's an absolute must. Gregory Peck, David Niven, Anthony Quinn.
Gregory Peck. I wonder if he's still alive. He's got to be.
He's dead. Now. Yeah, those guys all died. David Niven, tragically, I think he got Alzheimer's, and he was always known as kind of the Errol Flynn, very charming, very witty, brainy guy, and then tragically his brain goes away.
Yeah.
It'd be like me also becoming like really nice and playing with a puppy dog. And he'd be like, what the fuck happened to Cleary? But that will never happen. You know why, Chad?
Why is that?
The second I find out I have Alzheimer's, guess what I'm doing?
Smith & Wesson retirement plan.
Wesson retirement plan, which you can find in this fine book here called Bachelor Pad Economics, where you want to avoid Alzheimer's? Get this book. It's worth the $22. All right, anything else?
Yes, Ahmed Khan for $1.99 says chemical engineering and I think it's industrial engineering doesn't teach the skills Six Sigma.
That's not a skill. Six Sigma isn't a skill.
They kept emphasizing that in my MBA program for some reason. That whole Six Sigma like quality control thing.
Yeah, I'm a black belt. I'm agreeing. Hang on, isn't it Sigma 6?
I thought it was Six Sigma, but.
I wonder if it's.
And yeah, we had douchebags who would like brag that they were Six Sigma black belts and certified or something.
I want to look up like its reception, like Six Sigma techniques, process, Motorola. Is Motorola even in business anymore?
They had a headquarters out in Schaumburg. I don't know if they're still around.
Yeah, I remember driving past that on 94 all the time, or 90 all the time. Manufacturing product, difference, implementation of roles. App criticism. Let's go right here. Quality expert Joseph M. Horan describes Six Sigma as a basic version of quality improvement. Yeah, they just name fancy. They give these titles to common sense. That's all business is, stating that there's nothing new there. It includes what we used to call facilitators. They've adopted more flamboyant terms like belts with different colors.
What?
I think that, yeah, black belt, green belt, all that stuff. I think
That's-
that concept has merit to set it apart, to create specialists who could be very helpful. Again, that's not a new idea. The American Society for Quality long ago established certificates such as reliability for engineers, role of consultants, potential negative effect. You know what this reminds me of?
What, like Fantasyland or something?
No, like with euphemistic titles. It reminds me of the Myers-Briggs or Briggs-Myers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That okay, everybody listening right now, you know how I have like the two groups of people, right? We have the elite supreme and then we have the weirdos, which sometimes is cool. Myers-Briggs isn't a thing. Okay? That's like Six Sigma or EQ. Don't ever email me say, so I'm an ENT. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Aaron, what are you? Are you QSTR? No, I don't know what the fuck I am. Because Myers-Briggs isn't a thing. Don't be bait. That is so basic, bitch. That is so.
It's like astrology, right? In a way.
Yes. And I have an article about astrology. Funny you mentioned it. It's shtick, guys. It's, oh, look, I have a badge. I'm this type of person. I mean, you might as well say you believe in a religion, believe in a political cause, believe in an ideology. You know, I belong to the brown-eyed people. Hey, hello, hail, fellow brown-eyed person. No, it's not a thing.
Stefan Molyneux does that with bald people, but anyway.
Oh, bald people, fellow bald people.
It's like, hey, brother, you know.
Yeah, so that's no, that's Six Sigma's bullshit. I wouldn't do that. Anything else for cleared out?
We are not. A bunch
Okay,
more just
that's
came
fine.
on. We're never gonna get to what you want to get to, are we?
Well, I'm gonna start skipping the $2 ones here pretty soon.
Oh yeah,
Ahmed
Ahmed Khan for $1.99 says that's the only skill those majors teach. I think that's in regards to what we were just talking about.
Right, that's not a skill. Six Sigma isn't a skill.
It's not.
It's bullshit.
Tyler Converso. Don't know if I've seen him
Never
around
heard of him before. No.
For $5, he asks, Aaron, when you started off as an econ/finance major, what job did you want to be before you lost all hope? And at what point in college did you lose all hope?
I didn't lose hope in college. That's what sadly prevented me from the military. Because I did so well in college and I predicted so many things. I mean, I was a damn good economist. So I didn't lose all hope until I was about 31, 32. When the FBI agent came into the bank I was working at and confiscated all the files that this banker was hounding me about. And I realized all these gray hair baby boomer fucks who do, by the way, need to be shot in ditches, not even shot, maybe just cemented over so they can think about it. That's when I lost all hope, when I realized, well, even when, and after that, when Lehman Brothers, like, I don't know, have you ever applied to different companies and they all rejected you?
That did happen a lot.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so all these elite, because I had a passion for economics and finance. I thought this was the secret. If we can unlock the secret here, we can make markets more efficient, pricing more efficient. We can increase standards of living. I had very noble aims, like improving society. We can, we can't reach utopia, but we can make everybody richer. That's what I wanted to do with economics and finance. And then when I found out that it had nothing to do with efficiency, hard work, or meritocracy, and it ultimately came about where the housing bubble was pretty easy to predict. It was pretty easy to predict, but you had the quote top-notch investment banks in the world, top-notch equity, all these financial geniuses, and you realize it's all bullshit. I would say that's just as much of a red pill awakening as when I realized that women weren't the end-all be-all. And most women were, you were blinded by their beauty. So you're also blinded by like, oh, it's Wall Street. They must have the idea, the concept of a financial genius. When I realized, no, there's no such thing as a financial genius. It's just somebody looks at data and tells the truth. That's a financial genius. And how corrupt that industry is. And then when they all got bailed out, or even when like AIG and Lehman Brothers went belly up, what didn't Smith Barney go belly up? Wasn't there another?
Well, didn't they merge with what was it, Bank of America or
Could have, yeah. But when you
Morgan
saw,
Stanley?
yeah, when you saw that the Emperor had no clothes, that's where I lost it. Where I'm like, you lying sacks of shit. You're all a bunch of dumbasses. Here I am thinking I'm just like an average Joe. I'm being driven insane. Like my numbers are telling me I'm pretty sure about my numbers. When I realized that there was no meritocracy, there's no efficient pricing, there's no reason to go into finance or economics because institutionally it's horrendously corrupt and more inept. That's when I lost it. But what I wanted to become was some form of analyst. I really did enjoy being an international economic analyst. I analyzed economies. That was probably my favorite job working, but that was just an internship. But I was paid well for it, and I did real work. And I found out I was doing my boss's job, but that's what I found out. I should have taken the hint. Like, wait a minute, I'm doing this guy's job who's paid six figures, and I'm getting paid $16 an hour to do that person's job. So there was that. And then, and I want to be like some kind of equity analyst as well, work in investment banking. I never really was into the hedge funds or the programming or the math. Oh, but it was moot. I mean, if you go to, now I know this may shock you, Chad. When you go to the Carlson School of Management, guess what?
What?
Nobody wants to hire you if they're from an elite or even marginally good finance company.
Oh, well, shut your mouth. At orientation, they told me that recruiters from all the top companies visit.
So after I realized just how hard it was to get a job, like, I mean, I just worked as like a crappy credit analyst doing data entry for fucking Wells Fargo, making, I think, $27,000 a year. That's back in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you were in Chicago?
No. I was in Minneapolis. I worked at this investment firm. I think went belly up in Chicago for like 9 months before I got fired. Because like, yeah, you're an analyst, and all I was doing was faxing. I'm like, fuck you. And so my personal, wonderful, charming personality, but they're all long gone. They weren't exactly the best managed. But yeah, it was after you realize, yeah, the Emperor has no clothes, and like, this is pointless. And I just taught dance classes, and I'd worked as a credit analyst just to make ends meet. There was no passion. And there, I remember the second to last banking job I had, they were so inept, so incompetent. It was with a credit union. Credit unions are like the retarded redheaded stepchildren of the banking world. I mean, we are talking the dumbest of the dumb, even below community banks. I was scanning in documents, faxing, filing, because I get all my work done, and I'm like, what the hell, guys? What? I was paid pretty good. I was paid $65,000 a year 12, 13, 14 years ago. But there was no passion anymore. There was no like, oh yay, finance, hooray. It was like, yeah, fuck it, you guys don't care. And you know what also doesn't inspire economics and finance?
Stupid office politics?
No, people. Like when you say, hey, here's the path to riches and wealth. Stop having kids you can't afford. Stop getting divorced. Don't major in stupid shit. And the backlash is, you're a racist, sexist son of a bitch, and we hate you. It's like, yeah, you know what? The world deserves to die. And by the way, fuck you. And I'm not warning you guys about any. You go major in this. Yeah, you go do this. So there's no philosophical reason. There's no practical reason. It's impossible. There's just no way nor incentive to go and work in finance or economics, especially if you're in election. If you want to be a dude bro and sell, and kind of in an Operation Evil way, sell people shit they don't need, absolutely. But even that's getting marginalized out with like robo investors and places like Betterment and Wealthfront. So I think that is. I even talked about the article last week about how things have been so automated. There are no analysts really anymore. There's no investment bankers or dude bros. Everything's going to be outsourced to the internet, like with GoFundMe and raising money digitally. I think the finance industry is dead pretty much. So,
and I'm totally okay with that.
That is perfectly fine. All those guys have to sell their Rolex watches to make their car payments because they didn't get their bonus this year. All right.
Well, we got more.
That's fine. More money. That's good.
Sast one too many, a regular here. For $5.56 says Cappy, I'm 61. Is it time to get serious about retirement, or can I wait one more year?
That's good. How much did he donate for that?
Oh, $5.56.
$5. God bless you, sir. God bless you.
56 cents.
I
Yeah.
think that I take that back. That's like the number 3 question I don't want to hear. Is the first is how do I get the girls? The second is what should I do for a business? And then the third one is like, I'm 58, late 50s, early 60s. It's time to get serious about retirement. What should I invest in? It's like, fuck you.
Well, no, he didn't ask that. He just asked, is it time to get serious about it at 61 or?
That's the joke. That's the joke.
Oh, I see.
He's a regular. Yeah. You've heard me talk about this. Like when I did my finance classes online,
Yeah.
remember I used to do those. There'd always be inevitably, typically a woman, but not always, but there'd inevitably be some 58-year-old, like, because I say, introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about, oh, I'm in college, I'm this and that. I'm like, okay, these are younger people. They got time and now's the time to, thank God. But there'd always be, I'm 57 and I just got divorced and I got to sell and it's time to get serious about retirement. Or I mean, really, I graduated with my master's. Now it's time to get serious about retirement. It's like, Gertrude, that was the time for you to get serious about retirement was when guys were banging down your door to get access to your pussy at 23 and 24. And now it's too late. You're going to work till you're dead, sweetheart. And I didn't say that because I couldn't say it. And I say, you'd be so proud of me, Chad, the lies I say. I'm like, well, it's going to be a little tough, but you can do it, Ethel. You go right here.
Ethel and Gertrude. I love
whatever they name,
No, those are everybody's grandma's names.
Right. If you're a grandma and you're now starting to get serious about retirement, you can't even suck dick. I mean, maybe you could suck dick at the nursing home. I don't know, but you're not retiring. You're going to work till you're damn dead.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You know what? I always feel a little bit bad for them. I know you're probably thinking, well, they're in that position because they got there themselves.
Yes, they did.
But when I go to the grocery store and there's someone who's like 75 or 80 years old, checking me out, meaning not checking me out, but actually scanning my items so I can pay for them. I'm like, man, I really don't feel like you should be working, and I don't think this is a hobby. So,
you'd be surprised how many people. I mean, I've thought about going and working at Walmart or just some other place just to have people to talk to. So I know my old man still works, even though he doesn't have to. So
I hope that's the case. I do. I hope.
So do I. So do I. But yeah, no, but I don't feel bad for him. You had 8 fucking decades to figure this shit out. 8 fucking decades. Did you think, like, oh, I just would save up for 1 year and that would help you accrue enough money for 20 years of post-work retirement? I mean, I don't care. I don't care.
I guess,
matter of fact, I'm happy to see that happen because it's justice.
The way I look at it is I wouldn't want to do that job whether I was 16 or 60. So I just see old people doing it and I'm like, ugh.
I don't know. McDonald's, I could work at McDonald's. You ever see American Beauty?
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes and he works at the fast food restaurant just so he could talk to kids. Yeah. I can see them. I can see that. I can see that. Absolutely.
Man, these super chats are not ending.
Keep going.
$10.
Oh, Pokeball for me. Woo-hoo.
The bearded Nemophilist.
Oh yeah, he sent me an email. I think we read his email.
Well, he said, thanks for doing my request last week. You and Super Chad each get yourselves something pretty with this. Also, here's his question. Also, how does one go about getting the girls?
You first have her call you while you're trying to podcast with your good buddy Clary.
It said spam alert or whatever. Robo
scam likely. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's next? Because you're out of here in an hour, right? You got a meeting at 11:30.
Yeah, probably a hard stop at 11:30.
All right, so let's get through this and we can get.
Yeah, we're caught up now.
Oh, we are caught up. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Zodiac, this is from Mashable. Now, keep in mind, anything can be written on the internet by anyone. And just because it's on Mashable or Medium or a website doesn't make it like many people are thinking this. But I do want to expose this because out of 320 million people in America, there's always going to be a crazy person. But this person has a doctorate. And so we're going to look her up later. And we're also going to show that this is an indication that people are insane, specifically the millennials. And I don't see any comments on this. So I'm sure. But just to warn you boys and girls out there, Zodiac shaming is a real thing. Don't do it. Did you know that mocking people for believing in bullshit that's a no-no, Chad?
Oh, that's got to be one of the worst hate crimes imaginable.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. She's not a doctor. She just has Doc Ray in her thing. Are you a steamy Scorpio looking for a long-term relationship? A dreamy Pisces aspiring to work in a traditional corporate environment? A Virgo wanting to have friends? Please keep your zodiac sign to yourself. Zodiac shaming, the practice. See, we went to school at the Carlson School of Management to minor in zodiac shaming. You just don't do this on yourself. It's a practice, like a dental practice or a cardiologist practice. Zodiac shaming. You go to med school for 8 years, become a professional zodiac shamer.
God, reminds me of that old joke. What I already told this. What do you call the person who finished dead last in medical school?
A dentist.
Yeah, like dentist or doctor, regardless of where they finish. So anyway.
The practice of treating someone differently and punitively because of their astrological sign isn't a joke. You never know when someone will judge you for your cosmic family tree.
What?
That's not just my Virgo privilege talking. Yeah, you got to...
Privilege? Ugh.
How much you want to bet this gal has way too much of her parents' money?
I bet she's overweight, has pink or blue hair.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet white girl too.
Oh, no doubt. No
because doubt. If you... Not to say minority women don't get dirt blown up their chute a lot, but they got more problems. Like, you notice how... what's the number one race that has all the mental illnesses, like the ahud and bipolar and all that other stuff?
Well, it's definitely white women. I just can't remember the age.
Not even white women. It's just white people in general, because I think it really is a designer mental illness. It's like a luxury.
Yeah.
If you're poor, you don't have time for that bullshit, and it's usually beaten out of you.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how there's no social anxiety disorder or what's the made up ones? We're only like
attention deficit disorder.
Attention deficit disorder, but the really popular Asperger's and autism.
Oh, like yeah.
1 in 10 people that have it, claim to have it, might actually have it, but everybody else is faking it. It's non-existent in the second and third worlds. It just is not existent. And it didn't exist 20 years ago. It feels a bit laughable to hyphenate zodiac and shame when so many other forms of shaming, body, sex, grammar are infinitely more severe and pervasive. But when someone is denied a resource or labeled undateable because of their zodiac sign, well, it's just not discrimination. We can at least agree that it's bad. Who is discriminating against you based on your zodiac sign?
Well, considering I'm named after a disease, clearly every single woman on the planet.
No, if you're dumb enough to believe in the zodiac stuff, like, well, you may have even ran into this, like, well, I can't date him. He's a Pisces. Well, I don't get along with Virgos. You ever have... God.
Yes, I've had people ask me what my sign is.
Right. So this Heather Doc Cray, lady, this is your people. This is your idiots that actually believe in the sign. And how bored is your life? You had to come up with this. Like, this is, oh my God. A few years ago, my partner, of course, she has a partner. She doesn't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It's a partner. My partner
I hate that term. No. Sorry, I just hate when people use that term.
That's what they do. That's what they do. A few years ago, my partner was finishing up a screening interview for an apartment when the conversation took an oddly personal detour. Up until that point, things had been going well. She had excellent financials, an enviable credit score, and a genuine camaraderie with her potential roommates, which was reportedly sailing through the screening until the final question, what exactly was her sign? Not guys are asked. Guys never ask that. Guys never ask what your fucking sign is. Their tone was serious, not knowing the consequences of what she would say. She revealed that she was a Pisces. My partner could see the reaction in their faces. They were devastated. Do you want to live with a bunch of people or roommates who believe in zodiac bullshit?
Only if they're Cancers born on the first.
Right.
No, I don't.
No. Shortly, she was denied the apartment with no explanation. Why? Pisces are known as flighty dreamers who struggle to meet deadlines and professional obligations. And they can't make rent payments. Scorpios, she just goes on and on. We're not here to read this shit. I want to see what this gal is like. So we're going to click on her profile, which they never provide. Oh, yeah. Look up Heather Doc Ray.
How do you spell Doc Ray?
Doc as in a boat dock, D-O-C-K, and then Ray as in light ray. Heather Doc Ray.
I found it. Let's see.
Heather,
that's about it. Yeah.
That's what
yeah.
you'd expect. Yeah. You can stereotype. Yes, we look. You could tell a hell of a lot more by the way a person looks than what their zodiac sign is. I could tell right here, like this child has had no desire to work a real job. We use thick rimmed glasses as a substitute for actual genuine intelligence and wisdom.
Problem.
There's nothing here. There's nothing. I can, guys. You communicate we could take any stereotype. And yes, you can always say, well, that doesn't apply to 100%. You're right. But if I see a black kid or a black adult, worse, a male, with his pants drooped down below, I can say, you know what? I'm not going to hire that guy. I'm not going to trust that guy to run a division of General Electric. All right. If I see these, who's the gal? Also homosexual. She used to be a drop dead gorgeous blonde, and then she cut her hair because, of course, she's on MSNBC. Where's the thick rimmed glasses?
God, I never watched that shit.
Not Rachel Ray.
Is she with Morning Joe? Is that the one?
Maybe. What is her name? It doesn't matter what her name is. The stereotype fits. I mean, okay, you got your thick rimmed glasses. Anderson Cooper's got to say, yeah, we get it, leftists. You got your thick rimmed glasses. You're not smart. You're not intelligent. You're going to fake it. All right, I got it. You're conformist on top of it. It tells me everything I need to know. Heather is the web trends reporter here at Mashable, New York City. Prior to joining Mashable, Heather wrote regularly for Up Rocks and Good Magazine. It was published in the Daily Dot and Vice. Well, you don't get paid for that. I mean, shit, I don't even know half these websites. They're irrelevant. And had her work featured in Entertainment Weekly, Jezebel, Mike, and Gawker. She loves small, terrible dogs and responsible driving. Follow her on Twitter at Wear a Helmet. Now, please, I want her, if she's in media, she's in quote journalism. This is not journalism. This is shit brown journalism. She should have more Twitter followers than me. Correct, Chad?
I mean, one would suspect, though you're pretty popular.
I know, but I just want to see, you know, like if you put that much effort into it, 2,700 followers. I have 9,000, maybe more. If we can get to 10,000, everybody go follow me on Twitter. I don't know what happens at 10,000. But she works for Mashable, Vox, other somewhat Jezebel, other somewhat notable online quote magazines, and she only has a third of my followers. I'm a goddamn banker, ex-banker. I mean, you want to talk about a reason not to go into journalism? Hang on, let's see if we can find out what she studied. Do you think we even have to look it up?
I'm not sure why you're wasting your time. We already know.
I'm hoping to show young women or young people in general that you don't. Do you want a life or do you want this shit? She struggles day to day. Look, she's in New York City. She's struggling day to day just to make ends meet. I can guarantee you, she's not paid. She's not paid to do this, but it's her passion. This is a victim of the baby boomer and Gen X lies about the education and, oh, go to this. Films and mention writing, storytelling, and performance. She's a storyteller. Proud winner of 0 apartments and 2 proud owner of 0 apartments and 2 vacuums. Writing, films and mentions. You know, maybe for the dads, maybe for those of you who are going to have daughters, of which there's a 1 in 2 shot of that happening. Can you raise your daughters right so they don't end up like this? This gal is going to come to the future Aaron Clarey 50 years from now or 40 years from now at 58 and say, it's time to get serious about retirement. I just paid for my master's in creative writing. Oh, what do I do now? It's not. This is... And only someone like that would come up with an article about, oh, yeah, you got Zodiac privilege. Honest to fucking God. So I just wanted to point out the insanity there.
Can we do a couple other super chats?
Of course. I love free money. Let's take free money.
So Nick Schulander, birthday boy, for $9.99. He's giving us the present.
I like this, yeah.
He says, success equals being less of an idiot than everyone else. Pretty easy in some lines of work. Do you agree? Also, since I have some extra room here, I'm 21 now. What bar should I go to get girls? And remember, he's in Seattle, so
God, the only bar I know in Seattle is the Tractor Bar. The only reason I know that is I went there in '98 as a 23-year-old cappy, and I coincidentally saw a buddy of mine who I also happened to be out there from the Twin Cities. I'm like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "Oh, I came here to see this band." That's the only bar I know, which should still exist. I think it's Queen Anne area. It's on the north side. I know more about Leavenworth hanging out with TJ Martinell and the handful of bars and espresso shops. It was kind of cool. Like TJ, even though he's an author, he had to go and actually do real work. Like he's an investigative journalist, so he actually has to go on the beat and interview people.
Huh.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, have fun. And then I just like go sit at the coffee shop and write what I thought. I didn't have to interview anyone. I told people, well, that's basically all I do for a living now is tell people why they're morons. And then I made money, and then we'd meet up. Like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, we want to get food? Yeah, let's get food. So, poor guy. He actually has to do real work. That's
oh, boo-hoo.
I know. Everyone had to do it. I was working a real job too when I was, what is he, 17, 18 now?
Got the peach fuzz.
He's got the peach fuzz, yeah. He's got a good beard, though. Actually, he does have a good beard.
He does. I gave him a compliment on it, like when he was on your show.
Yeah.
So for $5, Darius Thurman mentioned that it was Rachel Maddow that you were talking about.
Thank you, Rachel Maddow. Thank you, Darius. Yes, and thank you for the money.
Although I gotta say, like, even looking back at her younger pictures, she never looked like that good looking to me. Just not hideous like she is now.
She was good look. I would bang.
Google that again real fast.
Yeah, I mean, she had nice long blonde. She looked feminine, you know. And if she was gay, that's cool. Again, Rachel can look like a guy all she wants. I'm not, but just don't. When it's not even that you're shortcut or you look like a lesbian. That's fine. By all means, go be a lesbian. I'm libertarian. It's this bullshit where I put on the thick rim glasses, and they're saying, which straight and gay people do, and you get your tattoos, and it's just so scripted. It shows that there's no independent thought. It's just like, well, I'm going to do what everybody else does. And the hypocrisy where it's like, I'm an intellectual. I'm a philosopher. It's like, no, you're a conformie. You are so fucking boring. There's nothing unique about you. And yet here you are yapping your flabs on the internet. Oh, shut the fuck up. Did you find her?
Yeah, I did. I just found the picture. Have you seen this? Or
yeah, I've seen it. It's like her high school photo or something, right? She got long blonde hair.
Yeah, there's this then and now side I found it's kind of funny. Okay.
You know who is super hot?
Back in the day?
Yeah, this is a tragedy. You know Big Red?
Yeah.
Have you seen her picture when she was younger?
Yeah, there was some kind of dating profile. Someone found her on OkCupid or something, and
that is my type. Red hair, and she had the look, and that shows you why I got in trouble, because mentally that didn't add up. It was just physically my cup.
I'm Google imaging her now. I know her
name.
I'm
looking at her. Yeah,
Shanty Binks and
Big Red before and after. Everybody do this. Big Red, even if you don't happen to like the redheads or the white girls. Big Red before and after. She had this kind of Scarlett Johansson even look to her. Yeah. Woo.
Triggered.
She has those long gloves on. She's at like some kind of formal.
Yeah. Huh.
Look at that face.
Wonder what happened.
Well, she got feminism. That's what happens.
Let this be a warning.
Well, but they're not listening to the warning. Women, again, I should categorize or list or what's the word? Doctrine Chronicle. I should write down the main epiphanies I've had in the past 2 years, or the current ones I'm currently wrestling with. One we talked about before, where it's how do you allow yourself to be happy and enjoy free time?
Yeah.
Another would be letting loved ones go, and not, that's easy to do and to accept. It's letting their failure and pain in life not affect you. So that's another one. And the third one is, I'm wondering again, do women on a genetic level really want men, or was it out of necessity? They had to be with a guy to survive.
I would bet everything on that. All of it.
Because it really it's because if you just stand back, like take politics and everything out of it, and you look at it and say, okay, how are they behaving? Well, they're escaping. They've made the decision. They're not being feminine. They don't want to be feminine. We've always known women wanted sex nowhere near as much as men. There seems to be, we've talked about that before, that Black Widow praying mantis kind of angle where it's like some of them outright hate men. So now the counter argument is, well, Captain, they're getting government money and now they're also brainwashed, which is another fourth epiphany we could argue about is, holy shit, how effective is brainwashing? Humans really are sheep and robots. And do they even have sentient thought? Everyone's wearing the thick rim glasses. But if you look, accounting for that as well, okay, but you would think biological programming would then override that. And I don't see it. I'm getting a distinct impression that, a lot of gals, like in their core of cores, they needed men. They didn't necessarily want them. And if they want them, it's only going to be the top 5%. So, yeah, that's what happened. I think with the brainwashing and the conditioning, and now you got an entire philosophy, which I can't even argue with in this one regard. Feminism is right in this one regard. Women don't need men. You really don't. And women have chosen kind of quite clearly that path.
Do you know how I see a lot of younger people just because of what I do? Most of the women, it's just not a big priority for them. They prioritize hanging out with their friends, some of them their career, a lot of them travel. Right. It's kind of just like men, maybe at some point. Right. It's crazy.
Well, is it though? I mean,
no, I'm saying it makes sense on an intellectual level, but I mean, to me, can you imagine a 25-year-old guy like not wanting pussy?
But men are programmed that way, and we want someone who was it? Somebody was telling me it was like 9 to 1. Like men have 10 times the sexual drive as well. I don't know how you measure that, but I would believe it. Men want sex more than women because that's predominantly our primary driver. So men can't imagine getting rid of women, but I can see women like, God, this guy's annoying me. I'm getting hit on again. And now it's not only, some guy makes an approach to a girl at a bar and she dismisses him or tells him to fuck off. Now it's like they mock and ridicule and you're kind of like, oh, you might get in trouble approaching a gal or propositioning a gal. Like, well, so like I even had a client, he went to a nightclub downtown. I'm like, what are you doing going to a nightclub downtown? You don't get girls there. That's not, but, no, it's that's one of the frontier questions, I guess, will be resolved in the next 2 years. And then 5 years from now, that'll be old hat, it'll be established canon, red pill 101, that women on a genetic or program level really don't want men, and you're going to have to figure out how to win. Then you have to be in the top 20% or whatever.
Yeah, they don't need them, and they mostly don't want them either.
I would love to hear. I know we have predominantly red pill women in here, but I'd love to hear any women's opinion in the chat room or email me. Because I really got to look at it as a scientist. Like, what is female behavior right now? It's pretty clear they don't want men. Okay. Well, that's fine. All right. What else for super chats?
Think we are good. Let me just make sure. Yeah, we're good.
Good. Let me get through the sponsors here. Alaska Chaga. If you're looking for something, huh?
I'm saying I got 45 more minutes or so.
Okay, good. We have plenty of time then. So Alaska Chaga, if you are looking for a substitute to coffee, go to alaskachaga.us and get yourself some mushroom tea. It's mushroom tea. Say mushrooms? Yes, mushrooms. You can get it in full mushrooms, dried out, grounded up, and then powder. You can actually get powder. And so it has a whole bunch of health benefits beyond coffee. Helps out with your organs and your kidney and your liver and your spleen and your stomach and everything else. It even has great elbow health. If you have problems with your elbow, drink Alaska Chaga tea. You can find that at alaskachaga.us. Guaranteed, 100% guaranteed to fix your elbow problems, which I am lying about. Praxi, Praxey. Get the Praxi app if you wish to contact me or other people that you have a question about. There are different specialists on the Praxi app. It allows you to contact us guys on our phone directly, and we can consult you directly. If it's like emergency asshole consulting, basically is what I used it for. Haven't heard it from one client. I don't know if it's working or what, or if people aren't signing up for it or whatever, but give it a try. Very expensive. So make sure you got your question ready to go. That's Praxey. If you aren't in a rush, but you still have a problem that cannot be solved with general consultations, me and Chad shooting the shit, go to assholeconsulting.com and send me your questions. Chad, is it worth $35 for a video response from me to tell you not to major in environmental science?
Well, I mean, it's like you always say, people aren't going to take advice seriously unless they have to pay for it. So I'm inclined to say yes.
Right. Well, let me ask you a simpler mathematical question. If you can pay $35 today to save $100,000 tomorrow, is that worth it?
Well, of course. I try to tell people this too in my own business.
But no one listens.
No, they won't listen.
So anyway, go to assholeconsulting.com and basically learn from my mistakes, where I will tell you the mistakes you're about to make so that you don't make them. And trust you me, you will save. I mean, I can't guarantee you, but man, we're talking 1,000% rate of any one of my books. I will give 1,000% rate of return guarantee on my books, because if you read it and do what's in the books, you're going to earn back 10 times the amount you spent, $9 on Worthless or $9 on Reconnaissance Man. The gas savings alone, buying and reading and implementing what are in my books will get a positive rate of return. I can guarantee that. There's no doubt about it. But if there's something specific to you, go to assholeconsulting.com and shoot me your specific questions. We also have a bunch of books here. Where'd the Pence Principle go? No, that's not it. Did I lose it? Randall. Sorry, not Russell, Randall. The Pence Principle, written by Randall Bentwick. Read this. This is another high rate of return book, although I didn't write it. Basically, how not to have your life and career ruined through Me Too and false accusations of rape. We have the 4 pillars of the neo-Renaissance man. All right. This is basically how to be a man in an environment today where masculinity is viewed as toxic, psychologically wrong, and just a real anti-male environment and behavior. We have some of my other books. Reconnaissance Man. Please get that book before you go off to college, or if you're in college and you finished your first or second. Any guy can get it, but basically, before you decide where to move and buy a house, get that book. Curse of the High IQ, available both in English and French, which is Les Malédictions de l'Intelligence. A friend of mine who speaks French pronounced it and said that my pronouncing of it is horrible. But you can find this book on Amazon, paperback and audio. We have Love Letters to the Left. This is actually a big book, and it's actually pretty cool. I kind of like how it's almost a coffee table book. But this is the best of my blog posts from 2016 to 2018 with the new pinup drawn by some artist. You can find other best of books like this one here. The Best of Captain Capitalism. I think this is the first main backup. This is all economics. If you want to get a good primer on economics and philosophy, this would be a good one to read. And if you like my books, trust you me. Excuse me. Get the rest of these. Read the blog posts because they're short, sweet, and they will expand your thoughts. Worthless, Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major. Get that for a friend or a loved one so they don't major in worthless shit like that Doc Ray gal. And The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. Chad, why did I write this book?
Well, it was to help people.
No, it's because I hate blacks. That's why I
wrote
this
book. Right, yeah.
The number one criticism of this book is that it's racist. I don't need no racist white man telling me. I'm just like, wow.
Stay in your lane.
It's racist to help out your fellow black man. Well, I'm not. It's racist to help out a fellow American who happens to be black with financial advice because you happen to be a financial expert. I love that. I love that. You can find all those on Amazon.com. What's this one? Oh, I gotta hang on. There it is. Going Home to Cherry Valley by M.L. Lewis. It's about a story of a man who leaves his wife to start his life anew in his hometown of Cherry Valley, and then she comes back. So check that out. It's a little bit of fiction, a little bit of Harlequin not romance, anti-romance, Harlequin anti-romance for men. Cafe Richesse, spelled Cafe Richese, which is Cafe Rich and then S-A-E-S-S-E. He is the coffee sponsor of the Older Brother podcast and the Clary podcast. Check that out. Academiccomposition.com. Go to academiccomposition.com. If you don't want to write your papers for college, I don't know if he does high school. Do you know if he does high school?
I'm sure he probably would.
Really? I don't know. Wouldn't that get you in trouble? I guess if they're not adults, or I don't know. I guess you can, I don't know.
A worthless paper is a worthless paper.
Yeah, boy, I bet you. How many papers do you have to rewrite from junior year to your senior year in college? The same shit.
That's why I'm so happy I went into a numbers related thing, because I hated pointless papers.
Oh, God.
I hated them.
The big jobs program for fucking liberal arts majors. Anyway, go to academiccomposition.com, where Alex and his crack team of writing staff will write your papers for you. You're doing nothing more than what smart corporations do, and that is outsourcing tasks they don't want to do. So do that. Be smart like smart corporations with MBA-laden fucks. Outsource your writing to academiccomposition.com. And then he's always hiring people to do writing and marketing for him. Just contact Alex by going to academiccomposition.com. Tell him the captain sent you. mngoldbuyer.com. Go to mngoldbuyer.com to get your precious metals, be it silver or gold. mngoldbuyer.com. Minnesota abbreviation, goldbuyer.com. Tell him the captain sent you. And if you would like to advertise on the show, which I'm going to talk about here if we get time, contact the old Capmeister. And it's $100 a month. You get a Cappy the Whore 4 video. I plug your product like I do wonderfully all my sponsors here, including awesome sponsors like rdklegal.com. Contact Russell at rdklegal.com before you get married, because he specializes in divorce. And so the time to call a divorce lawyer is when, Chad?
You want to do this before you're actually going to do the old splitteroo.
Well, even before that, you want to do it before you get engaged.
Right.
That is, so contact Russell at rdklegal.com. Any super chats?
We have a few more here.
All right, let's go to those.
Okay. Dr. Khan blog for $5. This is what we were talking about earlier. He says, if that is the case with women, then the only solution is for men to undo their programming and not need or want women. I think that's too hard because of the biological.
Yeah. How do you undo your You can't. You just can't. Yeah. I mean, I know as you get older, and I've talked to other guys older than me, and it's kind of universal. Like they're like, if I lose my wife or the girlfriend goes away, or they actually have gone MGTOW, like Bernard Chapin. Yeah, they're not going to lie. Yeah. They like some tail, but they're not going to go through the hell they went through in the past to get it. You're never going to get rid of your programming, but you can, once you give up. It actually is quite liberating, and life gets a lot better once you stop having women dictate your life.
It really does.
Yep.
Okay, Charles Mack for $2.67 says, in and out once again. Enjoy this super Chad.
Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah, he's around a lot.
And he's Seattle, right? He's also Seattle.
I don't know. I can't remember. He might be.
Is. All right.
And then Dr. Khan blog gave us another $1 with no message.
Sweet. I like the gimme dats.
I think that's
free market gimme dats. I like that. And we go buy Pokeball with it. Oh, slowly waking up.
How's your fitness and diet routine going?
Pretty good, actually.
Good.
Yeah, I've been running. I lost like 4 pounds. I think it's all fat that I lost. But yesterday and today, I'm taking the day off, and I'm also trying to lower cortisol. And if you constantly work out, see, that's what's great about being out west is I want to hike. It doesn't even feel like working out. Like I will go hike for 8 hours, and it's just wonderful. Just absolutely. I throw on the headphones and go. So you don't realize it, but like in Minnesota where there's like no exploring, there's no adventuring. It's like you're at the treadmill.
I hate the treadmill.
Fuck. And then it's like, oh, you can run outside. Why? To look at more farm fields, like, oh, here's a slightly different trail around the same looking lake that, there's 17,000 lakes in the state.
Charles Mack. Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, Charles Mack clarifies he's from the great state of Bechtlafia in PA.
Oh, he's in Pennsylvania. Oh, Becklafian land. That's
Becklafia.
Speaking of guys who don't like hiking.
Yeah, that was funny that time you all did that.
God, that poor kid. He made it up, though. He made it up. That's,
I won't say who, but I just can't believe somebody else that was in the group didn't have trouble. But I don't want to say who.
dude, that person you talk about. Well, we can say it. I think it's a proud statement. That's not slamming on him.
I'm just really surprised Forney was able to.
Forney did good. Forney wasn't. I mean, okay, yeah, he's overweight, he's fat, but his cardio and he got up, no problem.
Hope he's not insulted by that. I mean, it's
no,
a compliment.
No, it is a compliment, but Matt knows he needs to. Did I tell you? I'll tell it to these guys too because I'm an asshole, but it's 100% true. Did I tell you about the weight loss challenge I wanted to have Beckloff and Forney compete against in?
If you did, I don't remember it, but sounds like fun.
Well, both of them need to lose weight, okay? Because we don't lie. We're not girls here. Oh my God, you're amazing. No. We don't do that. Both of them need to lose weight, not only to look better, but health-wise, right? We agree with this.
Yes.
Okay. All right. They agree with it too. So I was thinking like, well, what if we had like a competition and it would be the weight off, and then Forney was out in Central Europe and there were mountains he could hike. Beckloff is in Pennsylvania. There's some mountains out there, or at least, and I'm like, okay, look, guys, let's have a competition. I'll pay you $250 for the prize money. Whoever loses the highest percentage of their of their total weight, it would market and hey, there's a competition going on. People would tune in more to their podcasts. It would help even if you lost, like, okay, say Beckloff lost 15% and Forney lost 17. Even if Beckloff didn't win the $250 prize, he'd be thinner. And then it'd be advertising from, I'd be more than willing to spend $250 because then it would drive traffic to my site. And we'd have, a prize and I'd make up I go to a trophy store, places that make trophies.
Yeah.
And it'd just be a fat ass, and I'd make a fat, hey, you win the fat ass trophy, that, some kind of bullshit shtick like that. And they didn't do it, but both of them did make it up Angel's Landing. They did. And Forney was in he tackled it pretty aggressively. I was kind of impressed, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, we're up to date.
That's it. All right, let's get. Do I want to? What do you want? Do you want to talk industry, or do you want to talk about 30 things millennials are killing off?
Well, first things first. Is there any asshole consulting, accounting related right now?
No, there's not. Quote unquote. Thankfully, there's nothing that we're like. Oh, ask Chad this. We're in the clear for that.
Okay. Yeah, let's bash millennials. That's always
okay.
fun.
It's not actually bashing millennials. This is actually 100% true. 30 things millennials are killing off. The greatest generation bravely fought the horrors of World War II in order to bring about lasting peace across Europe and the rest of the world. The baby boomers grew up in a post-war period and shaped the world as we know it by pledging allegiance to the American dream. But millennials, whose birth years span from roughly 1980 to 1996, notice Gen X is nowhere to be found in this article.
Right.
We don't exist. Aren't content with doing things just because that's where they've always been done. Here's a guideline to all the industries, products, and institutions millennials are killing off. All right, first one, canned tuna.
Huh. That's a little random, isn't it?
It's a little random, right? Yeah, canned tuna are blaming the woes on the millennials. Why? For not owning can openers. They may seem a bit much, but big tuna is feeling the heat after sustaining a nearly 40% decline over the last few decades. I did not know that. I thought just canned tuna was gross.
Yeah, I can't see how it actually had good sales to begin with, but if they want to blame the millennials, fine.
No. Okay. Beer. This one surprised me. Beer.
I could see that.
But all millennials do is they work coffee barista jobs, or the programmers, or they open up microbrews.
So when you say beer, are they specifying like the macro brews, like Bud Light, Budweiser, Miller, and all that?
No. If big-time beer companies like Coors and Budweiser had their way, millennials would be following in the footsteps of previous generations and knocking back cold ones left and right. But it's becoming increasingly clear that millennials are turning their back on beer in favor of spirits, wine, and gas, not drinking at all. Though the industry estimates it has lost 10% of its market to other alcoholic beverages, it's hard to pinpoint this generation's lack of interest in beer of any one factor. A recent craft cocktail boom and TV shows like Sex and the City made craft cocktails seem cool and sophisticated, especially compared to traditional masculine image beer companies have long to advertise. Additionally, millennials are generally more conscious about their health, which is also a factor in the reduced intake. They are opening up sarsaparilla bars where there are no
Sarsaparilla.
bars. Yeah. Oil. I don't have to go through that.
They don't drive, right? Millennials
drive.
don't.
Oil bad. They're saving the world. They're changing lives. Football, for many Americans, football is more than just a sport. It's a way of life. From the NFL all the way to Pop Warner leagues, football is such a popular and lucrative sport for previous generations. It was almost impossible to imagine an American way of life without it. But many millennials can't imagine a life without it, and that's got a lot of people worried. It's no secret that football is dangerous. Millennial parents aren't too eager to sign their kids up for a sport that could cause serious permanent injuries or even brain damage. And kids aren't begging their parents to play either. This one, although this has been going down since the baby boomers, they're the original trailblazers in this trend. What is probably the number one thing going down the toilet?
And if you're including baby boomers, man,
what were the baby boomers best at?
basically going into debt, spending money.
Better than that. They're even better than that.
Jeez, irresponsible sex.
You're getting closer.
Man. So
Divorce. They're great.
Right.
They are Olympic
divorce.
athletes at divorce.
Divorce,
Marriage.
yeah.
For a while now, millennials have been saying, I don't to I do. As few as 4 out of 10 millennials have tied the knot, according to the 2016 Gallup poll. Research suggests that millennials are putting off marriage in order to travel and optimize their careers in much greater numbers than previous generations. But really, the biggest variable seems to be financial security. Millennials are putting off marriage for much longer because of financial obligations, which is no longer. What is the largest form of debt in their pie chart of debt, Chad? What is the largest pie in the pie chart of debt?
It's got to be student loan debt.
Nope.
No,
that's number 2. The number 1 thing is car loans. So keep in mind, when they're begging and pleading to get bailed out of their student loans, they're going to go and get themselves a car loan.
I never would have guessed that.
I didn't guess that either.
That's wow.
But yeah, that's why I'm like, go fuck yourself. Just go fuck yourself, you goddamn parasites. Such as student loan debt and stagnant wages, which are limiting their ability to forge the successful lives they feel they need to obtain first before making a marital commitment. For many, marriage has become a status symbol, but millennials aren't giving up on relationships entirely. They're simply redefining it in their own way. J. Crew.
Fancy clothing?
I didn't know what J. Crew was. They're just buying fashion online instead of going.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Running
They're
is
giving
going
that
down.
up?
Yeah. In 2015, all-time high of 19 million runners. Just 2 years earlier. A couple things. Actual millennials are more likely than baby boomers to choose non-competitive fitness activities like yoga. Anything that's not hard. Yoga's hard. Shut up.
I'm a little surprised. Yeah.
The focus for millennials is less about winning and more about maintaining great alignment through warrior pose. Boutique studios that offer personalized services. Just say you don't want to work out. Just say that. Just say you don't want to sweat. Okay. Golf. This one I saw. Pour one out for the classic round of 18 holes. New studies show that golf, long the preferred pastime of the wealthy and powerful. I'm wealthy and powerful now, Chad. I'm very wealthy and powerful.
You've made it.
Dude, I go to the shittiest municipal courses. Is not high on the list of things millennials are into. Overall participation as a sport is down across the board in the U.S. and golf-related sales are down millions of dollars, causing some in the industry to wonder what the future holds. It's not hard to understand why millennials haven't spent up for the tees. For starters, it's an incredibly expensive sport. It is not. It's not as expensive as you think. You get a used set of golf clubs at Goodwill. You go to the municipal courses. You can actually do it. I'll tell you this, it's cheaper than that fucking degree you guys paid $250,000 for. That's not paying anything. Golf country club memberships, you don't need what? Plus the exorbitant golf or country club memberships required by most courses. No, you're lying. Most of the places don't require memberships. Second, there's the well-documented problem of golf is the good old boys club that makes no secret of its sexist attitudes toward women. Yeah. Because I've never seen women out. This is a lie. Who wrote this?
Garbage.
It's true, but it's the diagnosis by Adrienne McAveline. Everything it's you know what millennials are killing off too? Independent thought, where you just script it. It's like, it's feminism, it's racism, it's sexism. Cereal, gyms.
They don't go to gyms?
They don't go to gyms. DVRs, razors. There's one I want to get to. Mayonnaise. This is interesting.
Mayonnaise.
The linchpin potato millennial consumers' general disdain for regular mayo is due to its unappealing texture and appearance. But if millennials are not reaching for mayonnaise, what are they reaching for? Increasingly, the answer is vegan mayo, a healthier alternative. I highly doubt that. I want to see the numbers on vegan mayo. McMansions, that we knew because, well, they can't afford it. And the baby boomers are dumping those on the market. McMansions are a perfect visual metaphor for the gulf between baby boomer culture and millennials. Boomers want to show off their wealth, power, and prestige with gaudy, oversized homes, while millennials are too busy paying down their student loan debt to even think about buying these architectural monstrosities. All of this translates to a growing crisis for aging boomers who are having a difficult time finding buyers for the McMansions as they look to downsize from retiring. The 9-to-5 workday, that's good. Oh, this is bad. Hooters.
They're not going to Hooters?
They're not going to Hooters. Unlike their Gen X counterparts, hey, we get mentioned, who powered the chain to success in the 90s and early 2000s, millennials have ditched the wings and cleavage combo for fast casual dining delivery services and at-home meal kits. Falling sales prompted Hooters to remodel its restaurants and update the menu, but these changes are unlikely to bring millennials through the door, according to experts. This I've been predicting for years, because you could see it in South Dakota. Motorcycles. What do you see when you picture a motorcycle owner? An older retiree out cruising on a Harley Davidson, a well-off Gen Xer who has the time and money to indulge in an expensive hobby. This gal must think that if you do anything but leave the house, it's an expensive hobby. You can save money on a motorcycle. That's how I got into motorcycling, was to save money on gas. That's exactly the crisis the motorcycle industry, Harley Davidson in particular, is facing as younger consumers dismiss the once highly coveted status symbol of owning a motorcycle as an irrelevant, frivolous piece of nostalgia. Forget about the high price tag. There are other obstacles to consider. Where do you store a motorcycle when you live at home with your parents? And where do you ride it? Millennials are more likely to view motorcycles as a form of transportation as opposed to an expensive hobby, which means the entire industry has some serious challenges ahead. Lottery tickets. That's good. Vacations. I thought they said it was all about travel. Which one is it, lady?
Yeah.
Taking time off for younger people in the workforce, blah, blah, blah. Napkins?
So what's the alternative to a napkin?
I don't know. Nothing is safe for millennials, not even the lowly napkin. This humble staple of the table place setting is under attack from cash-strapped, eco-conscious millennials. Many view napkins as a waste of money and resources when compared to paper towels, which are more than versatile than simple two-ply. What? Guys, you're not going to save the fucking planet ditching napkins. Grubhub, Bubba, they've thrown a fistful of napkins. Applebee's. Shit, I don't even want to go to Applebee's.
I don't think we have that within the city limits here.
Well, don't you have like a $15 an hour minimum wage or something like that?
Probably.
Yeah.
It seems like all these major chains are out in the burbs. Like, we don't have them here.
Yeah. Why would they go to? They have profit in order to get their investors, in order to get money and expansion capital. They have to meet certain requirements in terms of rate of return. So it's just not financially feasible to go there. Movie theaters, credit cards. Really, they're using prepaid credit cards and using cash. Starter homes. This is interesting. You know the kind, a cute little one, or two-bedroom place in the $200,000, $300,000 range that's only meant to be lived in for a few years before trading up for a dream home. Millennials are skipping this once thriving market. Those that can afford it jump straight into more permanent homes. For a variety of economic reasons, millennials are more likely than any other age group to live at home with their parents or pay higher rent for a longer period of time. That eats into income they could otherwise be saving for a down payment. When millennials are ready to buy homes, it's far later in life than in previous generations. Plus, the U.S. housing market is skewed towards larger, higher-end homes, squeezing out the lower and middle tier. You just told me that the baby boomers are trying to get rid of their McMansions. They're ditching grocery stores, American cheese, retirement. Being able to retire implies the ability to save money. Not exactly short-term plans for an entire generation of young people with less than 1 month's rent in their savings account. Paying down student loan debt, being able to afford health insurance are seen as more important than saving up expenses 30 or 40 years down the road. Millennials might be the first generation to work well into their golden years. No, that's called the baby boomers. The millennials just aren't going to be able to retire. Diamonds, I'm glad they're kicking that out. Cars, millennials have a much less emotional attachment to their cars than boomers, and are more likely to share cars or use public transportation. In fact, younger drivers are more likely to be dissatisfied with driving overall due to the environmental impact of carbon emissions and the high price of maintenance. You're not saving the environment, kids. Final one, department stores.
Department stores.
Who knows? They're buying stuff online. Some of these are legit.
Yeah, some of them are a little repetitive too.
Yeah, she had a writer thing. No, let's look her up. How much you want to bet she's not an engineer and she has student loan debt and she has 10 Twitter followers?
I'm going to guess that she's wearing those problem glasses we keep talking about.
Yeah, Adrienne McElvain. She does not have the glasses, but she's got the short hair. In Brooklyn, New York.
Ugh.
I've delivered original, engaging, and viral-friendly articles, but none of them went viral. All my articles are viral-friendly. If any time you guys want to retweet any of them, they can go viral.
I need to send you more Target photos is what I need to do.
Yes, you need to do that. Feature columns for Google Play, Time Warner Cable. Who writes articles for Time Warner Cable?
Yeah, are they still around?
But it's a cable company. What, they got a magazine division?
Time Magazine.
Yeah, URB Magazine, Bellow Magazine, and contributed to several long-term projects supplying concise film content for recommended guide. Do you notice how it's like, I didn't do shit? Just say I didn't do shit. I wrote for some crappy magazines and articles, and I haven't done shit. Writer, festival guide writer. Dude, you wrote a guide for a festival. Bachelor's of Science in, I can't even believe this is a Bachelor's of Science. Guess what she has a Bachelor's of Science in?
I was going to say creative writing or English. What
You're close. Film and television.
Film and television.
Yep. Remember the guy that majored in puppetry?
Yeah.
Did you remember the guy that majored in camping?
Camping? Now that'd be something to major in.
There's a Sierra Club guy out in the Twin Cities. They tried to stop a bridge from going through and went through anyway. He has a master's in outdoor recreation.
Oh.
I'll never forget that. Just like, so you have a master's in camping. Just say you don't want to work and you can't afford not even the nice things, just the average things in life. You can't afford. You know what I paid for my golf club set?
They were definitely used.
They were used.
I'll say, $100.
Nope, 35. Used
that all?
That's all. Got a full set of clubs. They're not the nicest clubs, but they work. You know what I paid for my golf club set here?
I'll go higher. I'll say $50.
$0. My dad just gave me his used clubs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. It's oh well.
Can we do a quick super chat or?
Yeah, let's do some super chats, and then if we got time, I'm gonna talk about Turd-Flingy Monkey and the guys.
Oh damn, I want to hear that. So this is a very special super chat, and I'm being serious. Atham for $7.77 says, I've lost 23 pounds so far. I am no longer carrying a bowling ball around. Also, just paid off my car last night. No more debt, so have some happy bucks.
Nice. All right,
yeah,
Atham's always been in good shape. I wonder if he gained weight since I last saw him, because he was never out of shape. We hiked a little mountain.
Well, he might have sent you this too. We saw the before and after pictures.
I've never seen the before. Oh, wait, is it in our chat?
I think it's in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, I'll go back and look. Okay. Yeah, no, that's great, Atham. You lost 23 pounds. That's great. That's
yeah. Tell us your secret. I mean, I don't.
You don't eat and you work out more. What do you mean the secret? Don't act like a chick. Don't act like you don't know. You eat less and you work out more. That's it.
I want to give an opportunity to brag a little bit. That's all.
How do I get my bench press up? You lift more and lift heavier. What?
I guess that question would be like on par with how do I get the girls? How do I lose weight?
Do you know how many billions of dollars diet people have made off of people believing that there's like something other than eat less and work out more? Like here's your Jenny Craig shit. Here's your diet food schedule. Here's a pill.
God, what a scam. I may only have like 10 minutes, but I want to hear about this Turd-Flingy Monkey, huh?
Well, hang on. Let me grab my list because I did want to do a video. This will save me time. Hang on.
Okay. Breaking rocks in the hot sun. I fought the law and the law won.
I was listening to Bernard Chapin, and he mentioned turd flinging monkey, which I'm kind of curiously interested psychologically or philosophically, where he'll have great economic observations, but then he's got a sex doll. It's an oddity. It's like, well, that's different. So I have a curiosity piqued with that guy, but he got all of his videos taken down, but his channel is still up on YouTube.
They were all taken down. So
they were all taken down. Yeah. So they were all taken down. And this has caused, especially within the MGTOW community, but I'd say the Red Pill community, where people start to scramble, saying like, we're getting demonetized. I don't even bother monetizing my videos anymore, unless it's like no cursing, because it's just, I'm not relying on Google monetizing anything. So now people are like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And 2 years ago, when the first Adpocalypse came, I'm like, well, we essentially have radio shows. Why don't we do what radio shows do and have our own sponsors, like alaskacharga.us
or Steve's Jerky.
Or Steve's Jerky. Yeah, anything. And I got so much fucking flack for like rolling over and da-da-da. And I'm like, guys, so it's been a problem of mine to find other people to do sponsors and advertisers. But I thought this is a perfect example, not to just talk about demonetization, because that's going to happen no matter what, but to show you guys the real lay of the land here, that what we have is basically radio show programs. And don't you mute it?
No, dude, that's my clients. I got to run.
All right. Short version. Let me go through the best Red Pill advertisers. If you want to advertise, these guys are actually stepping up. Oh, he's got to go. I'm going to go through this. Chad will come back later after this. So thanks for being on the show. And I do want to shout out to these guys, because this is going to be the future. You have to start running your own ads on your channel. You have to, and this is the free market. And so and it's sad how few people got the hustle and would even get back to you. Because you guys know my problems. I'm trying to find people to run ads on. I want to spend money. I was talking to a guy on the golf course the other day where it's like, I've been trying to run ad and no one gets back to you. This is the future, guys. This is where we can help each other out. We can introduce one another to each other's audiences. We can advertise one another's wares and products and services. And so I had to sit down and think of the different people I know. And this is predominantly the Red Pill. But there's other places you could go. Economiccollapse.blogspot.com. He's a good example if you want to do more economics. And here's the list of people I recommend. I advertise on these places, right? Because these people will get back to you. Number one, Terrence Pop. His producer Blake will get back to you, right? You can run ads. He's got great reach and audience, right? And Blake immediately gets back to you. Tom Likas is another one, although I think he may be retired. He's doing his other thing and all that. But Gary and Dino would get back to you. So I don't know, maybe if you want to try go advertising with Tom Likas, go there, check it out. Sandman. Sandman is one of the guys that has the most hustle in this regard. And he immediately jumped on it when he started getting a bunch of his videos demonetized. And he will get back to you. He'll contact you. Do you want to add? Do you want to run ads? Okay, let's scratch each other's back. I argue we should not be charging. We should just, hey, I'll advertise you and plug your stuff if you do mine for free. But if people want to exchange money and get taxed, that's fine. Matt Forney, again, maybe not a huge audience, but Matt will get back to you. Same thing with Beckloff. Maybe not a huge audience, but they'll get back to you. Not Red Pill, but certainly targeting men under 40 would be world-class bullshitters. Sometimes Jeff will get back to you, sometimes not. Again, big reach, but contact him. You got to follow him on Twitter. Rollo Tomasi started taking advertisers. No BS. The guy, hey, do you want? Okay, here's your money. Bernard Chapin, where I heard Turd Flinging Monkey got demonetized. Go to Bernard Chapin. He runs ads. Turd Flinging Monkey as well. That's what promoted this. So go to Turd Flinging Monkey. I don't know if you want to advertise on the show. He's got to reach. He's got to reach. And then there's this other guy called Aaron Clary, where if you offer me money, fuck yes, I will promote. I will be your whore. I will promote whatever it is as long as it's legal. And I just, I saw that the paradigm is shifting. The market is changing. Google is no longer going to allow, unless you have big tits and you play video games, like, oh my goodness, hey guys. and unless it's G, trust me, the day is coming. If you even say PG-13, you say shit, ass. Oh, our precious and easily offended advertisers that's not monetizable. Just give it up. Help each other out. Promote one another's stuff. And then there's other people who are hugely prominent within the red pill community or the libertarian community or the dark pill or whatever subspheres within the internet spheres that we all run in. There are plenty of other people with huge audiences, and you guys are not monetizing. You are failing to capitalize on this by running ads. I mean, and I know you could take the approach of Stefan Molyneux. We don't do ads here. If you please donate, just donate. We'd really appreciate it. That's an ad. That's an ad. Right? And I'm going to say, oh, it's just one ad, and that way we can focus on it. It's like, yes, I understand. And Molyneux did one time. He looked at Peter Schiff. And I think Peter Schiff's show 20% of the time was ads. And Molyneux, for his own right reasons, he says, I don't want to have 20% ads. I want to have like a little bit, and we focus on fine, his choice. But for the rest of you, if you're complaining about not having this, I know we got Patreon and all this other stuff, but you're not dependent on politics and a third party that all of a sudden gets, right now, Patreon, I got my Patreon. They haven't really taken anything down. Really haven't posted anything that's all that quite controversial up there, actually, by the way. It's just really like, well, you want to help out, you can donate money here. But the day will come, Miss Feminist Studies Majors gets promoted to the Department of Culture, Diversity, and Thought Policing and banishes everyone who's to the right of Karl Marx. Any guy who talks about male rights or the concerns of males, misogyny, banned. You can rely on each other, though. You don't need a third party. Take a third party. Go ahead. Have yourself Patreon, have yourself PayPal, have yourself your Amazon affiliate program. I have all three. You can go to olderbrother.com/donate. You can help out right there. The Amazon thing is the only thing that doesn't cost you anything more because you are going to buy that stuff anyway. But on top of that, if you want to take the power out of these places, or you just want to have you want to dang, there went that source of income. I need to get a new one. You want to diversify your revenue streams. Well, here you go. Run ads on your shows. Make it easy for people to contact you who want to be advertisers and sponsors. I am always willing to spend money because if the price is right, I make more money. I mean, Tom Leykis alone, my God, I'd be nowhere near as successful without running ads on it because it was absolutely worth the price. Rollo Tomasi, same thing. These guys I mentioned, I can't guarantee you're going to get a positive rate of return, but at least it's worth a month. Toss them a couple bucks, see what happens. And the sponsors, and this is not to pick on Cafe Richese or Alaska Chaga, but dude, this is, I don't know, you guys ever go like in the local movie theater? Not a big one, the old town, old school local movie theater. And then they run ads for, hey, come down to Bob's Coffee Hut where Bob and his friends will make you a good cup of Joe. And Frank's Jewelry, come down to Main Street and Frank's Jewelry. Ever been? And they run the local, the local shops in the local town. It's like that. No, you're not going to get GM to run ads on your video where you talk about how fat acceptance is delusional. You're not going to get Google to run ads from its portfolio of advertisers for Walmart. If you're talking about, I'm trying to think what's anything politically incorrect, anything that isn't leftist and rah, diversity, socialism, feminism. I mean, you could say maybe Me Too's gone a little far. You're not going to run ads, and no one's going to, and I don't really necessarily blame advertisers because they don't want to run anything on political ads. But by God, you want to talk about more effective advertising? You have a very niche market, right? You don't have to worry like Target, that's kind of general. Walmart, that's general. Auto service, that's general. Hey, here's some books on how to pick up women. Well, that's pretty specific and pretty tailored to the listening audience you got. In other words, the advertising is more effective here than if you run it. Oh God, I ran a radio ad once for Behind the Housing Crash. That was jack fuck shit. The future is niche marketing within specialist blogs and YouTube channels and other forms of social media. And if you get a cute girl with nice tits to promote it for, that'll help out too. All right, let me go to the super chats room one final time. And I'm going to call it a night. There's Atham777. Joshua Landrum for $4.99. Thanks, Josh. I'm 6 minutes behind, but question, is there any difference between Gen Z and millennials? Gen Z? Not really. They called it Gen Z. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking Gen Y. No, Gen Z is I guess Gen Z arbitrarily now is 22 and younger. So if you're in college or younger, I guess you're officially considered Gen Z. I don't know if sociologically or culture-wise there's a difference. I guess maybe the only thing is that Gen Z has been brought up with smartphones their entire lives or their entire pubescent lives. They were born after 9/11, maybe, so they don't remember it. That's another demarcation point. But culturally, I don't really see that much of a difference. I mean, I thought Gen Z maybe would be different, but I'm looking at now they're all getting tattoos. They're all voting for socialism. It really is just millennials version 2.0. And even the book that I'm going to write is aiming to help out Gen Z, and other books that, like Seth Hines have written, Skip College for Success, and other such things. That's still fringe. Gen Z is just, it's the same thing. Well, you went to school, you know what it's like. Socialism is great, feminism and diversities and race and sex and gender and traits, and not accomplishments, achievements, or work or your brain. Tiring, same old bullshit. Oh, you have to go to college. I mean, there's no difference between the two. Ahmed Khan for $2. Cap, can I get on? Is Chad left? I got content. No, I'm wrapping it up. Not Ahmed. We'll have you on. I do have to get going. I got to take a shower and clean up. Plus, I got a lunch date. That's why I really got to get going. And that's it. Okay, cool. Run Guts, Pull Cones, and Pushing Rubber Downhill. Two books by our good friend Adam Piggott. Check that out by going to pushingrubberdownhill.com, his website. And he has two books, Run Guts, Pull Cones, and pushingrubberdownhill.com. Pushing Rubber Downhill is a mandatory book for every young man out there to read. Women too. I just don't think you'd like it. But it's the journey of a boy becoming a man. And the saga continues. And just tune in to the podcast that he also has at pushingrubberdownhill.com. We have the League of Extraordinary Podcasters, 405media.com, Financial Survival Network, Canto Talk with Silvio Canto, Frank Cervi at frankcervi.com, spelled CERVI, O'Shea Jackson on YouTube, Economic Invincibility at YouTube, TJMartinell.com, World Class Bullshitters on YouTube, Entrepreneurs in Cars starring Rich Cooper on YouTube, podcast.michaelkingswood.com. You check out a podcast there, or just go to Non-Communist Science Fiction to see all the works of my good colleague, Michael Kingswood. The Safety Doc, Dr. David Perotin at safetyphd.com, thegoddamnbacon.com, not the goddamn bacon, thegoddamnbacon.com. And I also want to mention the School Sucks Project with Brett. That's a good one that I'm tuning into, and I enjoy that very much. Let's take a look. Any last super chats? Oh, Nonstop Dre. You got me, Nonstop Dre 360. Donation to the Pokeball Fund. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. All right, guys, I am out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Share, like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you guys later. Toodles.